Yo, this is Shotta, and right about now you're watching my track by track on SBTV of my brand new mixtape, The Moonlight Hustle. First track on the mixtape is more than a tape. It's the intro track. It wasn't actually meant to be the intro track, but it's one of those ones, when I heard the beat, I went to check a guy called Preston Play, and he played me so many beats, and this one just stood out to me as something I could really go in on in an intro and just absolutely tear down and bring that energy. So when people put it in, when they first hear it, they get that impact of like, boy, this is like, he sounds like he's going in, it sounds like it's going to be really epic. I think Preston's a really epic producer. The sounds he makes, everything he's working with, you know, he's done a lot of work with Mike Righteous that I'm a big fan of. So it was kind of honour to go to studio with him and just zone out. He had a few beers there for me, the vibe was on, the flows are crazy on it, and I think it's the perfect setup for the rest of the mixtape. Yeah, the Anthem, which is the second track on the mixtape, that's by a new guy, man. He just sent me some beats, and I'm one of those people that always listens to new producers, because you never know where you're going to find that diamond, man, that hot track. And Reckless is a new guy. He sent me some stuff, and I heard that one straight away, and I started just thinking of mad flows in my head. And I started thinking about when I'm on the road. I mean, I listen to a lot of the crazy gas rap like GCJ and French Montana and Meek Mill and Rick Ross, and that kind of really gets me amped when I'm doing my shows and stuff. So I was thinking of the audience. I know they like that kind of stuff as well. I know they're into that. So I was like, let me give them something that's very amped up, very mad, double time, very kind of almost aggressive, not crazy, but just something that's going to make people get gas, people enjoy themselves, turn it up loud, and just hear some mad flows and a mad beat. And that's kind of the whole idea of the Anthem. It definitely goes out on a positive spin, where I kind of talk about linking the family around me, and we hit up a Brazilian spot and we're just chilling and just kind of toasting to our success. And everyone's got different measures of success, but that's kind of what the track's about. It's about success, how you measure it and how you see it. And Hipman Junkie murdered the hook on that one, definitely.
Pieces, love to the angels, I know you're with me. And for the wrongs I did, forgive me. The alcohol, it flows through my kidneys, but trust I'm high off life. I feel reborn, the fire's inside. I found myself, I can't describe the vibe. Look in my eyes and you'll see the pride as I ride with the angels by my side.
I want to talk about the reason why we do this, because sometimes people are like, yeah, but how do you get the energy? How do you keep it going? How do you keep writing lyrics? How do you come with new concepts? And to us, I think it's second nature, man. Obviously, people do it for different reasons. Obviously, there's the financial element. But I think if you're a real MC, I think Nas mentioned it one time, you're kind of doing it with or without the record deal. It's just something you do. So, you know, the reason gets debated, but you just focus on staying creative. Music's in your blood regardless if you make it or not. You know what I'm saying? That's how we deal with it. And that's definitely a big tune, man. Big up Propane on that. He smacked that, man.
Nobody's equal, we should do a sequel. We sway on the remix, I'm lyrically seagull. I'm fly like an eagle, I'm spitting it regal. Best D&B lyrical, MC the people voted to just leave it like lethal. I see through the lies and I see that you're feeble. Plus you evil wobble, I skip with perfection. It's lethal, the way I go in, it should be made illegal. I get them all clapping, my double time rapping is second to none. The money that I'm stacking is looking real good. I got signed, I got back in, I'm cracking a bottle. It's all crack-a-lacking, I do have a passion, not hit for the clash. And I'm smashing the remix and then I'll be dashing to new destinations. And then I fly back in, I'm bringing something that the game has been lacking. Real.
This is one of those tracks I think the streets are going to love. I know people like to hear MCs going back to back, just murdering the mic. This one's all about just beasting the beat, trying to kill the beat. It's all about fire bars, there's no concept. It's just literally about coming on and doing what you do and trying to murder that beat. And I think people are going to like that one, definitely.
I'm standing on the edge, I'm searching for some fucking freedom. I want to fly like the birds, like you don't know the reason. I've given everything to this, I ain't come here to reason.
When Whitney passed away recently, man, that was one of them things that really hit me. When an artist of that magnitude passed away, of that talent, it's crazy for me. So when I kind of heard something that she'd sung, straight away I wanted to talk about, you know, whatever you go through in life, whatever downfalls, whatever pitfalls that happen to you, whatever people try and do to bring you down, one thing they can't take away from you is your dignity. Yeah, they can take away your yard, they can even take away your kids, they can take away things that mean things to you, they can take away your car, but they can never take away your dignity. If you hold your head high and walk high in this life, man, no one can take nothing from you. And that's what that one's about, man. It's another banging beat, bro. I love the rhythm track on that one. Like I said, because of the sample, it really resonates with me, so I hope it resonates with the people as well, man. What I wanted to do was, I wanted to bring on two guys that I'm working with very closely. First guy is Fatal. I met him through doing workshops, man, because I run a lot of workshops with young kids in community centres and schools and stuff like that. And his focus and his drive and his kind of like ability and his writing ability is mad. So I wanted to put him on the record to kind of showcase what he's doing to a bigger audience. The other guy on the record is, you know, is Dreps, who's like, in drum and bass, he's coming up real big now, man. The guy is like monster on the stage. He won the, he actually come the best runner-up this year at the Drum and Bass Awards. I think next year he's poised to win the Best Breakthrough. But I also wanted to show people that he's kind of more than a drum and bass MC. He's like a mad character on the mic. He's a beast. So I wanted to bring those two guys on and really just talk about the fact we got our eyes on the prize. We're not watching anyone else. A lot of people watch people. We're not really about that. We're just doing our thing, keeping our eyes focused, keeping our eyes on that prize, trying to make some good music, man. Really talking quite spiritual again on the record about kind of appreciating the things you've got, you know, appreciating what you have in life, even though you might not have the big yacht, the money, the car, the stuff that certain men talk about. You still got a lot to live for, and there's a lot going on. And it's like, what you need to do really, what we're trying to talk about on that track is look at your reflection, enjoy what you see, go out there and enjoy your life, man, because if you can look at yourself and appreciate the things you've got, and you can give to others, and it can be a beautiful experience, man. Looking at yourself, that's what the whole thing's about. But shout out to Navi, because it's good to have like a legend on there, man, a straight legend. So, you know, got a lot of love for that guy, definitely. Yeah, that's how we're moving. Another banger from Chrissy Chris, man. Concept-wise on that one, I really wanted to show people that maybe don't know how hectic this life can be as an artist sometimes, especially even my own personal experience with it. You know, I run the workshops with the kids a lot in the day in the community centres and schools and stuff like that. And then you might want to have a little bit of private time, and then you've got to write a tune, there's a deadline to that, and then it's like the agency are trying to change your set time, and you've got people trying to get you on a direct booking, and then you've got to go and do the gigs, and you've got to come home and sleep. And that's what I really wanted to show people on this one. I wanted to tell people, to give people a real insight into kind of my life and what it's like. Lyrically, what I was trying to talk about was the whole thing about how, as an artist, it's so hard sometimes. You might be tired, you might have things going on in your personal life, but what you've got to do is focus on the job at hand and just get on with it. And a lot of people say to me, oh man, how could you do 7 gigs this weekend and do all this stuff in the week, then go studio, then try and help other artists, then go and do another 7 gigs? And I was just kind of joking with them that you've got to be part man and part machine. You've got to just kind of turn into that robotic mode, that kind of default mode, and just get on with things and do it, man. Yeah, lean back. It's another freestyle, man. It's not about getting lean. Don't get lean no more, apart from Carnival this year, damn. But other than that, it's basically a beat, Big Fat Joe beat, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those beats I've always wanted to ride on. Yet again, there's been a lot of versions of it, but it's a beat that I always personally wanted to jump on. Originally, that was going to be the intro to the mixtape. I was going to kind of come with something that people knew and just tear up the mic. You know, there's a few stories on there, a few mad stories about things that happened to us when we were coming back from gigs in New Cross. You know what I mean? Some mad stories. You're going to have to listen to that one. As soon as I heard that, I knew I had to attack it on an emotional level. It wasn't just about spitting, it wasn't just about a random concept. It was about taking something that was very important to me and kind of putting it out there. And, you know, everyone can relate to that. I think everyone, you know, even if it's things that are trivial in your life, things you would love to just go back and change. You can't turn back the hands of time, but the whole concept to that is kind of wishing that you could, and what would you do if you could take back the hands of time? And I kind of talk about the things that I would do if I could. With that one, I zoned out hard. I kind of talked about all sorts of things, man. I kind of talked about people that I like who are coming through. I even talked about the petrol, because, you know, doing gigs and stuff, the petrol kills you out here when you've got to do the Birmingham runs and all that. You know, it takes quite a bit out of your wage and stuff. So I really went deep on that one. That's done in one take as well. That's not something that's been punched in. That's literally, I think it's nearly 5 minutes of bars. And what I've got to say about that one is everything in that comes from the heart. Everything, it was how I was feeling at the time. And to be honest, I got to thank Reese Beats, man. That beat brought that out in me. I don't know if I would have written that to any other beat. So, you know, behind bars, if you really want to know what I'm about and what I was going through and what I was dealing with at the time, listen to that tune, man. Me personally, I think if you've got a good woman at home and you're in a good relationship and a beat speaks to you and you want to talk to your girl on that beat, I think some of the best sort of tracks back in the day have come about by doing that, man. So that one's straight from the heart, real talk, not afraid to say it. I had to get a singer on the hook for that. I was like, nah, I'm not doing a hook for this, I need a big singer. So I hollered at Tayong, he come with a hook. I was like, that's cool. And I was like, maybe try another thing. And he came back with something else and it was perfect, man. So I got to big up Tayong, he put in the work. Big up Reese, Waking Up to You. It's another personal one, man. Big tune. Still Love You, man. I like that one as well, man. Reckless did that again. The same guy did the Anthem. You can tell that he's very versatile producer to be able to make a track like the Anthem and a track like that. With that one, it had the hook on it. It had the sample saying, I love you. So I was kind of thinking of different situations. The first verse isn't about one person. People might think it is. It's not about one person. It's about different characters that I've been, you know, friends with over the years. We've had our disagreements and our fallings out. But when it comes down to it, you know, we're friends, man. It doesn't matter. Friends can fall out, friends can have disagreements, friends can differ on points, friends can have different views on all sorts of things, but the friendship should outweigh those things, and that's what I kind of talk about in the first verse. The second verse is kind of a joke thing about a certain beer I like, so if you can spot what the beer is, it's kind of a bit cryptic, but see if you can do that. And the last verse is just about bare different things I love, man. I still love, and I'm not going to change loving him because that's the way I am, man. So that one, Still Love Ya, make sure you check the concept on that. This one here is so different, it's so crazy, it's so out there, it's going to inspire a next madness in me. So I kind of went home a couple nights later, wrote the track, mad patterns in there again. It's the title record, it's an anthem, it's very epic. Went round to Preston's, bare desperados, pure vibes, knocked it out. Preston was screaming in the studio, he had me screaming as well. We got on such a vibe, we ended up going to a drum and bass thing later that night. I don't even know if Preston went home that night, I think he went and partied. It was crazy, the track is mad, that's one of the epic ones. And I think it's, you know, it's apt, that's the title record, man. I think it suits the whole ethos of the Moonlight hustle, so big up for Preston Play on that one, man, killed it. Yeah, so end credits, there's a guy called Drifter, another up-and-coming guy who sent me that. As soon as I heard it, I started writing to it, and I heard it as like, you know what, this mixtape's almost like a film. It's like going to the cinema, man. There's so much vivid images in there. To me, this is like the end credits of the whole mixtape. I'm going to sum up the whole mixtape in this. I'm going to tell you why I made it. I'm going to tell you why I'm so glad that I made it. I'm going to go out on a positive note. I'm going to bring you the end credits of this chapter, do you know what I'm saying, of this film. So that's kind of the whole vibe of that one. It kind of rounds up the mixtape up really nicely. I've got a big up Drifter on the beat, very talented producer coming through, you know, and like I say, man, the journey's just begun. This is only the first step, you know what I'm saying? People like know me in the drum and bass scene, but I think I've got a lot more to give as an artist. Looking forward to collaborating with different artists from different genres and stuff like that. So, like I say, man, the journey's just begun. End credits.